Sing a breath, hallelujah.
I hate when you sing.
I wanna go, hallelujah.
Okay, and what's it? Reflection? No, reality? Hold on.
Because I'm not in control, so I
know,
feel
it's
weird.
not-
Yeah.
I feel weird.
Yeah.
You know what's weird today, sweetie? It's me.
It's us. What was I saying? It's very deep, huh?
It's a
I need a
deep-
Percocet.
Miley Percocet.
Yeah. Not one of her better songs.
Okay. God forbid she just does some kind
I
of
just said
different
not,
music.
no, I love her and I went to the Banger store, but not one of her better
You went to
songs.
the Banger store?
Yeah, I did.
You weren't friends?
Oh, of course not.
We hate each other 2
2
years
years
ago.
ago.
Hey, sweeties! We've reconnected after 20 years and decided there was lots to discuss.
Perspectives on gay culture, Italian upbringings, dating, sex, friendships, relationships, hot topics, and everything in between.
Funny and insightful conversations that everyone's in on. We've got lots to discuss.
Hey, sweeties! I'm Anthony.
I'm Paulo.
And you're here at
Lots to discuss.
We're here at episode 4.
Quattro. 4.
Can you believe it?
Congratulations.
Congratulations to you.
I love it. It's really your year.
It's really your year too, eh? This episode has been on my mind for a very long time, this actual subject. And we're going to be talking about the relationships between gay men and their fathers.
Mhm.
Dum, dum, dum.
I'm really proud that you're doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we have to, I have to, but also this is going to be a conversation about like anybody in general with the relations that they have with their fathers.
Yeah, of course.
Correct?
Yeah, I think the relationship, a lot of people, the relationship with your father is the first to either show what true love is or real turmoil could be. So
Yeah.
I think I'm proud of you for doing this. I think
Thank
we
you.
both have like unique experiences with our dads.
Yeah, and I want to share them and I want people to somewhat relate with them.
100. I think this is bound to relate with people.
Grab a tea.
I would say probably grab a tequila today.
Yeah.
The one with the worm.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's just disgusting.
Grab a shot because it's
Grab a
about to get
shot.
deep and heavy.
Let's dive in.
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Today, this is Anthony's episode. I have no idea what's about to be asked, said. I am here for a good time and not a long time. Yeah.
This better be quick.
Yeah. It's a deep episode.
Are you
so,
nervous?
Huh?
Are you nervous?
I'm not nervous. I think, like I said, I think this is such an important topic. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people can relate. I think historically, the relationship with your fathers are vastly different than a relationship with your mother. So I'm curious to see your perspective, my perspective, and people's perspective, right?
Even as like gay men, like I feel like I'm not generalizing. I
Mm.
think there's a majority of gay men who don't have the strongest relationship with their fathers.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
It's not about generalizing. I just think it's the vast majority
it really
have a
is.
complicated relationship,
Yeah.
right?
And I wanted to talk about it only because I feel like it's been a long time coming of healing and working. And like, I know we don't have the exact same experience. So
Mhm.
like, I want to hear more about yours.
Mm.
I feel like I want to talk more about mine.
Yeah, I think this is going to be healing for us. I think, did we grab a tissue box or not?
I don't think I'll cry.
No, I don't think I'll cry either.
No.
No,
I haven't cried in years.
I forget what it is to cry.
When's the last time you cried?
Like a good cry?
Yeah.
Probably when like my dog passed.
Aww.
Yeah. So I'm like, that's
I was
5 years
expecting that.
ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
laughing because mine
I know.
is
You
not
laugh at suicide. You laugh at, I know. It's just, you laugh at death. It's weird. Yeah, it's weird.
last time.
But you know what? I do laugh at funerals. It's weird.
Oh,
It's
come
like
on.
No, it's a nervous twitch I have because it's so intense.
What do you
It's so-
point and laugh?
No, yeah, that's what I say. Giacomo, I'm laughing at you. No, I'm just like, I get so uncomfortable
Yes.
that it's like a nervous laugh, you know?
I get it.
Yeah,
Okay, you ready to dive in?
I'm ready.
Okay, so we're gonna go through past, present, and future.
Okay, great.
Past, present, and future.
I love that.
Okay. I should have been a teacher.
Yeah, no.
No. I have a few questions.
Okay, great.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
How was it growing up with your father as an Italian, young, potentially in the closet gay boy?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember I only came out at 18. I don't know. I think I have like different experiences. I think we were always a little strained. I don't know what that is. And I want to say something. I want to like start off the episode like this. I am not one that subscribes to like your parents should be like superhuman. Like, they are people at the end of the day. So, like, looking back now at 38, I always see things in a different perspective. But growing up, I don't know, I was definitely way closer with my mom.
Right.
I think my mom, if I'm just being quite honest, was both parents to me. I think she played the mother role and the father role. I think my dad was in, like, working a lot in and out, but we were never close. Like,
Got you.
I can't remember, if I'm just being quite honest, I can't remember having this closeness with like a father figure.
Did you have anybody else who was like a father figure? Like, I know you just mentioned your mother, but was there any other, I'm gonna be like really specific, male
Mm,
that you're like, oh, that's kind of like my dad? For instance, I had an uncle
hmm
who is like my godmother's husband. I always looked at him like a dad when I was much younger, you know?
Mm.
So like I didn't have the actual father with me, but he kind of represented that. He was not authoritative, just very like confident,
A presence in your
nurturing.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't say I did. Listen, I
Okay.
mean, I had like uncles and godparents and all that, but to say that it was like this strong male presence in my life, no, I can't say I have.
And your parents were together, are together.
Yeah, we're still are together. Yeah.
When I was younger, my parents got divorced really young. I was
Mhm.
like 1
Well, I
years
was
old.
gonna ask you, how was it for you growing up? Because I know your situation is a little different,
Yeah.
right?
I was one when they got divorced.
Okay.
Okay. My parents were really young. My mom was like 25 years old. My dad was like 27.
Okay.
And that kind of started the like you go to your dad's every second weekend,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, every second weekend, every second Friday. So that's all I really knew of my father. And we had like it was fun from what I remember. You know, like I used to get into like WWF.
Oh God, I was so, when I was a kid, it's funny that you
Wrestling.
say, yeah. When I used to go to the dentist, a big, what do you want to be when you're older? I'm like, a wrestler.
Yeah, I
A
swear.
wrestler? What?
I know.
Yeah,
And
I was into it.
oh,
Oh, I had the belts. I would go to the matches at the Bell Center. I'd go to the bars.
same.
Love it.
Did you feel like watching wrestling at that age? You were like, oh, you a homo.
You know, it's funny.
For me, yes.
Yeah, people make that. I didn't. I just love the art of it. I don't know what it was. Maybe now looking back, I love the spandex of it all. But I loved wrestling.
Do you remember Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Of course I do.
Oh, that bald.
Yeah, the
Mm.
Undertaker.
Oh, he scared the living crap out of me.
My God, Jericho.
Jericho.
Yeah, I know. You
Triple
see?
H. Same
Triple H. Not the same person. No.
Who was the one with the bandana?
Bandana.
Well, then there was Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
My
yeah.
father used to do this bit where he would take his undershirt and
And
like
rip
rip it
it.
in the middle of the street, and that would scare me.
That's so funny. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, go. Okay, so your parents got divorced when you were 1. So how many years were you doing this back and forth, weekend here, weekend there?
Up until 18 years old.
Up until 18.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Because up until 18 years old, in this case, the father had to give like
Alimony, child support.
child support exactly every
Yeah.
2 weeks. So yeah, and it was always short periods of time, right? So I'd go there, we'd hang out a little bit. We would do.
Were you guys close growing up?
I mean,
Because you're an only child, right?
yeah,
Okay. Which I find that situation different in having siblings because you're solely alone with this parent and have to connect on a deeper level, right? I think when you're a house of multiple kids, I think you can relate. Some kids can relate
Yeah.
to their mother more, their father, or whatever, but you have to solely be with your parents and have this like almost deeper connection.
100%.
Yeah.
I love sometimes when we're talking about things and you look at me, you're like, "Ah, that must be like an only child thing."
Oh yeah, it is. You have only child syndrome throughout a lot of situations. I'm like, you're weird. Honestly, today's you're weird. Yeah. Yeah.
But my core memories were really like simplistic. We'd go to the park, we would like play baseball,
Mhm.
nothing crazy, you
Mhm.
know? Do you have like specific core memories?
You know, I listen.
Like, did you play sports? Did you play tag? Did
Yeah,
you
I did.
watch movies?
Yeah, I played soccer for like 7 years. Yeah, my dad was my coach at
No.
one point. Yeah, he was. I always remembered this one thing that he would say, like if he couldn't make it to a game and the assistant coach had to like step in, he would always say like you didn't play a good game if your cleats weren't dirty. So sometimes when I was lazy, I would take dirt. Like, come on, I would just put my
Look.
yeah. I'm like I played.
Great,
Yeah,
great game.
like I don't know when you say core memories and that like I don't want this to become like a dump fest, but I really do not.
That's okay.
Honestly, I just have to be honest. Like I said, there was always this strain between him and I, and I don't know what it was. I mean, listen, now being 38,
Especially as kids.
as kids, like looking back at 38, I can almost maybe assume or predict that maybe he had an intuition that I was gay at a quite a younger age.
It's my next question.
And so I feel like that put a strain on us, like something I couldn't help or predict or whatnot. That just put a strain on us from a very, very young age. We just never connected, I think, because he never maybe wanted to come to terms that maybe later on in life this would be a reality.
Especially so young. It's like, okay,
That's
maybe
it.
he has like these feminine or gay traits
Yeah.
that he's experimenting.
Yeah.
But like, ooh, we're not going to talk about it yet. You're 12 years old.
That's it. 12, my God. Like we're talking even younger.
Even
That's what I'm
younger.
saying. You know what I mean?
I have a core memory. My father would go to McDonald's drive-through,
Mhm.
which we know now we're never eating McDonald's again.
Never.
I'm going to keep mentioning on every episode.
Yeah.
We'd go to
Until McDonald's shuts down. You know, I really have not eaten McDonald's.
Same.
I want to say it's like, okay, I was never there every weekend, but I want to say it's a solid 2 months that even when it pops up on my Uber Eats, I'm like, no,
Fuera.
no, I'm eating your nana.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
We used to go into McDonald's drive-through, but he would go in through the drive-through backwards in the car, and he would just have this like weird, stupid voice.
That's funny. Yeah.
And you'd be like, I know, like it was anything to entertain me back then.
Okay.
And I feel like that was his way of showing love, you know?
okay. That's
Which
fun.
is hilarious.
Yeah, that is hilarious. Yeah. See, like, I mean, listen, when you say core, like, of course I have memories of like going to McDonald's or going whatever, but core memories for me, like, I just have them with my mother.
Got you.
Truly.
Somebody asked me once, so like, who else was like represented father figures? I was like, my mom and my aunts, like
Mhm.
these, and my grandparents, these were the people I saw every single day of my life more often, who I grew up with. So like, who played the male figure? Mom did, my aunts
Yeah.
did. Like, come on.
Actually, I want to retract something. When I say no male presence, I have to say, even though he died when I was 10, my grandfather,
Oh, wow.
like that would be a presence. I remember my mother's father because my
Yeah.
dad's father died when I was like 5 years old. But that would be a presence I remember, like going there and feeling very safe and protected. I remember that from a very early age.
Cool.
And I also remember my mother being so like in like just infatuated with her father. So I remember feeling like, wow, because she felt that way, even as a grown
okay.
woman, she would come in and say daddy and all that. I was like, okay, so this is what like it should feel like.
Got you.
Yeah,
I always felt like grandparents took on a bit more.
I agree.
They were always so much more softer, kinder,
Yeah.
gentler, understanding than sometimes I think parents did, or our
Of course, I think
father
that's
did.
just like it's like the nature
Yeah.
of life, right?
Yeah.
I think,
When mom
it-
and dad give you a hard time, go see Nonna, Nono, and they're like,
and it's
softer
funny.
with
I
you.
think your own parents would tell you stories how hard their parents were on them,
Yeah.
and then how easy they were on their grandkids. I think it's just a different relationship.
I know. Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah. No, we're not crying yet. It's okay.
Okay. I mean,
I do want to say something too. When I said like I don't subscribe to the notion that like everything that happened to you as a kid in terms of your relationships, in terms of circumstances and situations, they do not define you as an adult. I've known of people who like blame every single little road bump or anything on their parents. Now, I think scientifically you can correlate that a lot of things that happen to you as a kid or the relationships you start forming do start affecting you as you grow up, and maybe the relationships you start getting into, which I could see the correlation. But there has to be a certain point in your adulthood when you come to a realization where you're an adult. You can
Yeah.
understand as a kid, maybe it wasn't the easiest for you, but you cannot start holding that and dragging that all the way through your adulthood.
I think it's even what you said about like looking at our parents and realizing that they're not superhuman.
They're not. You know
Our
what I
parents
mean?
did the best they could with the tools they had
Exactly.
in the late 80s for
Yeah,
us.
of course,
you know?
yeah.
So it's completely
And
different.
young, like, right? Like my mom got married at 21.
Crazy.
I couldn't wipe my ass at 21.
I still can.
Yeah, like I know.
Okay, don't.
Yeah,
That's a
no,
joke.
I know, but you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
at 21, I could never imagine getting married at 21.
Divorced by 25?
Yeah, which is crazy,
Unheard
right?
of.
Yeah, it's nuts. So I
Crazy.
just think it's true. I just think you have to give your parents as as fucked up, and I'm sure, listen, we have our own stories,
Yeah.
but there are wild
I
stories
know.
out there about relationships with your parents. And as fucked up as that may be, you have to give your parents a bit of grace
I know.
in normal
It
circumstances.
comes later
Yeah,
as we get
of
older.
course, 100%. Yeah, I agree with that. I just think that your parents can't be everything to you, even though society has set them up to be like
Yeah.
that. They cannot, right?
Was there anything you did as a young, once again, we're talking about when you were a really young kid,
Mhm.
to get like dad's attention?
Oh, of course, right? I think, and
Was playing soccer one of them?
I 100%. I think like he really loved music. I ended up like really adapting that love for music as well. I was
Mm.
taking lessons of like so many instruments, and I think that was a sort of like not a cry to like notice me, but it was almost like, look, we like the same things. Like, look how good I am at this X, Y, and Z, and
Yeah.
like almost love me, like yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah.
Eh?
It is crazy. What about you?
Um, I didn't see my dad so often because they weren't together.
Yeah.
But every time I was with him, I would always see him smoke. I was like, oh, he's so cool.
Mm.
And he was always like nonchalant, like rolled up t-shirt, cropped. I mean, look, it's literally how I dress
Yeah,
today.
that's so cool.
And I
Though.
tried to just imitate him to see if he would look at me a certain way. But I remember as a young kid, I was at his parents' house, my grandparents,
Mhm.
and the neighbors, they had a son who was much older. He must have then been like 20. Okay. He would go over, and I remember my father saying comments like, look at this fag. You have a fag as a son. When I
Wow.
heard that at, I'm going to say 11 years old, 12 years old, it like, and I didn't even know what the term was yet, but I knew they were making fun of him, and we knew because he liked boys.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
It like choked me, and I was
Mhm.
like, oh, you're not safe anymore, kid.
Wow. Wow. That's like, yeah,
And
that must be
then
a hard realization.
so hard.
Yeah.
And then began the journey of, I need to outmask myself now.
Mhm.
Even at 12, 13, 14, it just continued on and on and on.
Mhm.
Forcefully tried to talk about girls in front of him. The wrestlers, I mean, I found them so hot,
Yeah.
but you had to look at the girls. Dad, look at her, like,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. I have to say, even though the gay issue was it was a real turning point for him and I never heard that come out of his mouth when I
Okay.
was younger. Like I never heard those words. Okay, I mean, I heard crazy stuff, but I never heard that. So I can only imagine how reclused and how sort of introverted you might have felt hearing that. That's
Because
deep.
the assumption is that every single person on this planet is straight. And my love.
Yeah, no. I mean, but listen, I think they even knew back then. I think it's funny. I
Yeah.
think Lady Gaga always says this, but I think it resonates so hard.
What?
She always says, like, I'm just like an Italian girl from the Bronx trying to make my father proud.
Oh,
And I think that is something as Italians that I think we put a lot of emphasis on trying to make our parents proud. And I think, listen, if you live an authentic life and you do good things, they're going to be proud regardless, right? But I think there is this sort of yearning with gay men and their fathers to really try to impress them and make them proud and hear the validation. And honestly, that could be so for me, it like I'm like we were saying, it's so troublesome for
Yeah.
me. It becomes such I know a heavy burden you hold as a young gay male to always try to get this validation from your father who should really be giving it to you regardless.
I know.
You know what I mean? So but like she always says that in interviews, like, oh, I'm just like an Italian girl from the Bronx trying to make like my dad proud. Like Joanne, I don't know. I'm getting into a Lady Gaga. I love you, Lady Gaga.
Gaga, I'm never gonna get over it.
Yeah,
I
I'll
love her
never.
so
But
much.
she made Joanne
know.
for her father.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like to heal her father.
Yep. Oh,
So it's
I have
like,
goosebumps.
yeah,
Paula.
that's it. And I think it's an Italian. I don't know. I can't speak for all Italians, but it's definitely prevalent in the Italian community that you want to make your parents as proud as you can. And
Yeah.
it's like you almost lose yourself sometimes trying to do that.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we are, present.
Yeah.
Okay. Spoke about past.
Yeah.
Present day.
Mm. Well, let me ask you.
Yeah.
I have no control over
Go
this
ahead.
episode today. So I'm like, when you came out to your dad, what was that reaction scenario?
Totally fine.
Totally fine.
Which is so crazy with the relationship of my father as we're gonna go through.
Yeah.
it actually had nothing to do with my sexuality.
Wow.
My dad was totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, okay, cool. And like we continued eating steak.
Okay.
Like,
wow.
so, and it was always spoken about in a humorous way, but not because he couldn't handle it, but like he never gave me a hard time, which was so funny
Mm-hmm.
because I got such a hard time from other males growing up in high school for being too feminine. My father never gave me a hard time.
Made you feel bad about
No,
that. That's great.
Never gave me a hard time for feeling gay, feminine, and whatever. You
Yeah,
know, like,
that's amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
You?
No, mine was not. And that wasn't easy for me.
Okay.
You know, and I knew he was like the final boss in
Okay.
like in the Mario game. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like I knew it wasn't gonna be easy. Now, listen, I didn't get like kicked out I mean, when I hear stories like that, it still breaks my heart to this day.
No.
But it was not easy. No, like I had said it, and I think I said this in episode 1. I set myself up to go live with a friend like the day of
When you
I
came
was
out.
telling them, and like we really didn't speak for a little bit. I want to say like a month,
Okay.
and like then slowly but surely we would have very mundane conversations, but never about that.
Bit by
And
bit.
I can even say to this day at 38, and like he came, like I got engaged. He was there. I bought a house. Like he celebrated with like my partner at the time. To this day at 38, we still have never discussed it. It's like I'm just like, you know what I mean? Which is wild. Wild. Yeah.
It's so wild.
Wild.
Because this discomfort, I think, from our fathers comes from the idea of what they envisioned for us
Yeah.
as kids.
Yeah.
And like growing up Italian, everybody envisioned us with 3 kids by now,
Yeah.
married to Mary, you know? So,
But I have to say something about that because I have to say, I know that on a personal, am I okay? I know that on a personal level, my father had expressed things like that. The vision he had for me in life,
Yeah.
the marriage, the kids and whatnot. And, you know, growing up, like, it's not like I had the biggest male presence. So I would always say never to him because, you know, after a while, these arguments about really silly things, like I was just like checked out of them. But I would say to myself, like, you want all this for me, but you weren't all that for us.
yeah.
So I wonder this emphasis you put on kids and marriage and all that, which is funny because you can still obtain those things being gay, being fucking trans, being whatever the case is. But it's like they have such a narrow
I know.
vision of what it looks like.
Is there now a vision because of their education or the way they grew up?
You know, and I have to say, I agree with that. I agree, like the way they grew up in a really different time.
Yeah.
But you also have to advance with the times.
Do you know what time it is, Paolo?
I do.
It's time to talk about
You're weird.
Why are people weird?
Why are people weird?
And we've decided, because of all your comments, that we're
Mhm.
going to do a full episode of
Full
You're
episode
Weird.
of everyone's You're Weird.
So please keep
we're gonna
sending
do like a
them to
little
us.
poll on Instagram. We're gonna get them all, and we're gonna like comment
Yes.
on everyone's You're Weirds.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it.
What's your weird of the week based off of this?
Okay, so
episode?
mine goes into more couples than dads,
Okay,
but more
okay,
on the
okay,
male
okay.
side because it really happens. And I gotta say this:
What?
when we're out in public and I see couples that I don't know, we're at a dinner table and they're like almost insulting their partner, like, "Oh, my fucking bitch wife," or "my this, my that." Guys, get a divorce. I want to tell you something. The second you start losing respect for one another, that you
Call
feel
her that?
comfortable enough in front of people to start insulting go home and insult
But
them.
you're the weird
Yeah,
one. Eh?
like go home and say so, but you're out in public saying, "Oh, like I can't wait to go on this business trip. I get away from my wife." But maybe you shouldn't be together.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's not for you.
You're fucking weird. If
You're
you talk
weird. No,
about
you're
your
weird.
partner.
Yeah, like you're fucking weird.
You know what's weird?
What's weird?
For me, and I'm sure for you, it's not this. I hate when you call me daddy. When men call me daddy, it's fucking weird. To me, it shows me that you're broke. Okay, go to get a job. Wake up. Okay, Lucas, go to class.
Yeah.
You're weird. Don't call me daddy. I don't like it. Don't call me daddy.
I love it.
You love being called daddy?
I love it. I mean, listen, again, I don't want to be called daddy in Walmart, but like in the boudoir, bring it as much as you can.
No, me
Yeah.
no. If I hear that in the boudoir, I'm getting the fuck out right
Oh
away.
no, I live. I live.
Wow.
Yeah.
Things are weird and sometimes they're not.
That's it. I mean, that's why human beings are different, right? DNA.
Bye.
Bye, sweeties.
present day today,
Uh-huh.
what's the relationship like with your father? Do you speak more? Do you do more things together?
Yeah, I definitely think we speak more. I think we're more tolerable of each other. I like, are we close? No. Do I yearn for that? No. You know,
You're at peace?
yeah, like again, this has been a reality of mine since I've been a very young child. And again, because I don't put anyone up on a pedestal,
Mhm.
it's not that I yearn for something or I want something I never had. I'm very much of like, he is his own person, I am my own person. And like, again, if I were to be in trouble and needed help, I know he'd run and come,
Right.
and I would do the same. It's just like we're very, I don't know, we're just like,
This is what it is.
it
And
is.
I think you found your peace within
Of
it.
course, I really did,
So
but a long time
a long
ago.
time
A
ago.
long time
That's
ago.
really nice to hear, though,
Yeah,
because I feel like at some point in the relationship with our fathers, there must have been a pivotal moment where we're like, okay, I need to find peace right now.
there is a pivotal moment. I don't
Oh,
know about but for me, like
mm,
it really happened in the coming out process where it was like a couple of years after that, I was just like, I need to understand that I'm never gonna have this father son relationship.
that we see on movies.
And and God bless for the people who do, but the
Yeah.
reality is that that's not everybody's story,
Yeah.
right? And it doesn't mean you have a bad story. You get what I'm trying to say? I think
Right.
people, someone had asked me the other day, because I have a friend who has a very complicated relationship with their father.
Okay.
And they were telling me, like, when you are on TikTok and you see these, I don't know, dads coming to the baseball games, or I don't know, surprising them abroad. All
Yeah.
these fucking sad TikToks
Oh
that
my
you want
God.
to throw your phone in the garbage
I kill
after.
myself.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They were saying, "Do you feel a certain way?" And I'm like, "No." You know what I feel? I'm so happy for the person experiencing that.
That's
That's what
important.
I feel.
That's so important.
Yeah, you know?
I love that you feel that. That really
Yeah.
must mean there's a lot of peace within yourself that you have found for you for this to
Yeah,
work.
of course. Listen, I'm a 40-year-old man.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, look, you're 59. Like, it's like, what about you? At present day today, the relationship that you have with your dad is
uh Non-existent.
okay, because I mean, I know that, but I don't know if you want to touch on it or dive deeper.
Yeah.
Why is it non-existent to this day?
The
And how
issue,
long has it been non-existent?
we haven't been speaking now for about like 3-4 years.
Okay.
The issue with my father was never the of being gay, which is so crazy.
Yeah.
It wasn't about being accepted in my homosexuality.
Yeah.
It was the presence and the accountability that he did not take and did not provide.
Mm-hmm.
Mom raised me on her own. She got help. She had her sisters. She
Mhm.
had her parents, but she did that all alone.
Mm-hmm.
Child support, my father gave like 2 pesos a fucking every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was a lot,
Yeah.
but you don't realize it's when that's happening. Life keeps going on, and I go to school. I go to fashion school.
Mm.
Mom paid for that all on her own.
I have to say,
And my father got remarried, had 2 other kids. I have 2 half brothers,
Mm.
but I don't consider I have 2 half brothers.
Because you don't have a relationship with them.
And in order to give each other these titles, we must have a relationship.
Of course, yeah.
You know?
Listen, the thing, like, blood is thicker than water. It's truly not. I think
I know.
like, and I specifically feel that for our community, we understand that from a very early age that family is chosen sometimes.
Oh, it really is.
It's not given to you. And I think that people you grow up with, whether it be parents, siblings,
Yeah.
cousins, aunts, uncles, whatever the case is, if there's no relationship there, that doesn't mean you are family.
I can't call you dad
Yeah.
if you don't show up for me like you do. I'm so happy you've shown up for your other 2 sons. I think that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you finally get to be the father that you were set out to be.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't even want to say you failed this one, but it took me a minute to realize, like, it's always 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
And I want to jump in what you were saying about watching your mom do everything. Now, I lived in a 2-parent household, but
Okay.
I watched my mother do
Everything.
every single little thing. And as a man, see, this is where I get, it's almost where I get a little heated on this sort of alpha gay relationship with dad. I mean, the fact of the matter is that some fathers not hate, they don't agree with their gay sons because of the femininity of it all.
Right.
Okay, let's just be very for real and very
Yep.
and very gay forward.
Gay forward.
Yeah, because
It's how you actually
it's
look
how-
at women.
Yeah, exactly. Because gay men sort of attribute a lot of their characteristics to feminine qualities. It just is what it is when
course.
it comes to, you know, fashion, makeup, art, all
Everything,
that stuff.
yeah.
I watched my mother in a two-person household do things and accomplish things that truly to this day, like if I have to put anyone on a pedestal, it would be her.
Same, my mother.
And again, I'm not going to speak because there's good times and bad times, I'm sure, in every marriage, but I just watched her be both parents,
Yeah.
you know?
That's how I saw my mother. Like,
Especially as a single mom in just you and her in a household.
yeah.
That must have been
It
tough.
worked. It worked easy. I find I was a very good kid, you know? Present day, when you are aware, when you can look back and you'd be like, I can't believe all of that happened. She did all of that. And he had 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So this relationship started to really fizzle out. And it wasn't, imagine, you would think, oh, it's because you were gay. No, it had nothing to do with that. It had to do with
Actual
presence.
substance.
Yes. And there was none. And I still never faulted him at some point. I was like, you know what? He did the best he could. What led us to not speaking was a very funny little story. And I say this because I've managed to tell just a few people around me, and they're like, oh, I have a version of that. I'm like, what? This exists? I literally thought it was just me. His mom passed, my grandmother.
Okay.
I say his mom because that grandmother, we did not have a really strong relationship because I was not present. We were not present in each other's lives. So,
but when you, I do want to ask you, when you say from like 0 to 18 that it was sort of, did you have relationships with his family in that time?
yeah, every second
Minuscule.
weekend,
Yeah.
minuscule. Every
Okay.
second weekend, we would see somebody. We'd see the grandparents. After 18, you're an adult. I started going into college. So I became an adult. I had a life.
Yeah.
I had friends. I started doing things.
Yeah.
I was in school full time. Like,
Yeah.
was working. It was a lot, you know? So I started seeing dad less based off of little occasions and whatnot, you know? As he continued to be less and less present, and there were times where I needed him, he just wasn't showing up. And it was always like, he would say something, he would kind of do it half-ass. And then at some point, as I got older, I started to get fed up, you know? I want to go back to his grandmother, his father.
Yeah, his mother.
His mother passed, and I was on a work trip, and I could not make it. You know, I'm working, I'm abroad. I'm being paid from the company I was then with to do work. And he threw a word at me that I think I had been holding in my throat my entire life that I just didn't know how to say. And he's like, oh, I'm so disappointed in you. In that moment, Paulo, I literally stopped and I said, you don't even get to say that word.
Yeah.
It has no hold. It has no weight.
Yeah.
Because actually, it can't be because I can't do this one thing for you that you are disappointed in me. You've disappointed me my whole life.
Yeah.
I've never told you to make you feel any other way.
Yeah.
And now, because of this circumstance and this situation, I now have to make a decision and realize that, like, I can't have you next to me.
Yeah.
I've loved you then, and we say this often. If I've ever loved you, you get to keep that love.
Yeah.
It existed.
Yep.
Presently, I can't love you.
Yeah.
Which means I've made the decision to
Go no contact.
Yeah, to go no contact.
Yeah. And listen, again, I think.
But I've also had to grieve this idea that I too had of like, I have half brothers. I have a father. No, actually, I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, I really don't.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Right? I think outside people sometimes when they hear sort of very deep statements like that, like, oh, how can you not talk to your dad? How can you not want a relationship with your half brother? It's like, well, actually, the reality is that I've been very hurt.
Yeah.
And to go no contact with someone, it's a buildup. You don't go no contact because they didn't get you your McDonald's toy, your Happy Meal. No, but you get what I'm trying to say.
With anybody too, eh?
But anybody. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that when people hear, I can't believe you don't talk to whatever, it's like, well, actually, because the more I'm around this person and the more I talk to this person, the more like I'm hurting myself
over and over
right?
and over and over and over
the
again.
word is in my head, but I'm the hurt exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you're not bringing peace to my life. So actually cutting you out is what is about to bring me peace.
Unfortunately, we've had X amount of years.
I need lotion.
I finally started lotioning when I get out of the shower.
At 46?
I'm not 46.
Yeah.
And I didn't know I had to.
Okay, it's like
Next episode's about skincare, right?
oh my god.
Now,
Mm.
the relationships we had with our fathers, has this shown up in your intimate love life relationships?
It's
Have you tried to seek your father in men?
not
Because this term daddy issues is huge.
yeah, it is. I mean, listen, it does travel with you, right? Now, to seek my father in men, no.
I don't mean like
no,
physically,
but some
right?
No, that would be fucking weird,
Weird.
and you would need to go see a psychiatrist. But what has shown up is the toxicity in these relationships. Now, thank God that I've had healthy relationships. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
But the ones that were not,
Yeah.
I can fully look back and see that essentially I was making the exact same mistakes I was in the relationship with my father. 100, especially and really
It's mind-boggling.
there's one relationship that I could really see the coordinates and correlate everything.
Correlate.
Yeah, correlate everything that I'm like, I have to. It's funny. I mean, I would classify, men who don't really take the time to understand their kids and I don't know, want to build a healthy relationship with them. I would classify them as narcissists. I really would.
You nailed it.
Okay. And that travels in relationships. Partners who don't understand you, who don't want to understand you, who don't see your side of things,
Show up.
show all about them. That happened in one relationship with me. And that's where when I ended that relationship, it was finally that last straw that I had with myself that I said I would never almost try to impress a man again.
Because not mirror to mirror, did it mirror a little bit of the relationship with your father? There were similarities.
From 0 to 100.
I dated my exes.
No, I was dating my father.
100%.
Yeah.
My exes are my father.
Yeah, like
Emotionally unavailable men, not present,
No,
one foot in, one foot
exactly,
out.
Yeah, I was really trying to save relationships and impress them, and their birthdays grandiose. They're all this because I was trying to, and nothing was coming back to me. And really, it was one relationship. I really have to say, just this one.
Yeah.
To the point where, and I swear, when my ex had said this thing, is when I started making moves of getting out of the relationship. He knew the history with my father. The ups, the downs, the this or that. And he had done something one night, and I can't remember what. And he had said, like, it's so funny, like, you're basically dating your father. And he started laughing like he was proud of it.
No.
And I swear to God.
Run.
Yeah, no, I looked at him and I thought to myself, if this man, knowing what he knows about the relationship with my dad, is almost like taking joy on acting like him, where I'm trying to I'm falling to pieces in this relationship.
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta get out of here, and relax. Things like, well, why is yours so close to your chin?
Sometimes I'm so scared that the volume's not loud enough.
No, it's loud
but I
enough.
feel like I need to speak right here all the time.
It's not ASMR.
I hate ASMR.
It kind of, it's supposed to stimulate something in your brain to make you healthier.
It makes me want to kill every single person who does it.
Yeah.
Stop touching your lip gloss. Stop touching the banana.
I like when they go like.
No, I hate it, Paulo. I hate it.
Yeah, I love it. Anyways, just like it does show up in relation. I don't know about you. If you've been in relationships basically with the same characteristics of your father.
Identical.
Yeah.
I'll say it again.
Yeah.
Emotionally unavailable. One foot in, one foot out.
Yeah.
And only.
Yeah, you said it better than me. That's exactly it.
Only after the fact do you realize these things. Are they apparent?
Yes.
And now it took a lot of healing to be like, I no longer, look for that. I no longer look for the validation of my father. And now I feel like because of that, I mean, it's been a few years in the making.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, we've grieved, we've healed, we're working at this.
Yeah.
And it's the only reason why now I feel like I can attract the most wholesome, loving, attention, validation, admiration possible
Mm-hmm.
is because of this work I've had to do.
Mm-hmm.
If I did not go on cold turkey, no contact, if I did not mend and end all those things, standing up for me,
Yeah.
I could not be here today with with all my chest to say, you've finally mended your daddylicious.
Yeah.
Daddylicious.
Girlicious.
You remember Girlicious?
Yeah.
Oh
Course.
my God.
Like me, I love that song.
So good.
Yeah, so good. Daddylicious.
We were worried that we weren't going to be funny. I mean, at the end of the day, you and I don't know how to speak English, so
Yeah,
that's
no, I know.
hilarious.
I agree with you. Me too. I think to what you were saying, I don't know if it happens to you. I think because for me, like I missed that part as a kid, I'm overly affectionate. Not because like I force it, just because I am, right? I really, even in my friend group, for the girls, like they look at me as like big bro daddy
Yeah.
type. And I take on that role so proudly. Like I protect my girls, I'll do
Yeah.
anything for them. I show up for them in maybe ways like dads would not. And I don't know, like I said, I just think what you had said, you said it beautifully, you said it articulately, is that because there was emotional unavailability as a kid,
Yeah.
that shows up in romantic relationships afterwards. It happened to me in one relationship and it'll never happen again. Never, ever again.
So happy that you get to realize that.
Yeah.
Because going forward, I feel like maybe the cycle's broken.
It's broken.
You know how many dreams
Yeah.
I've had of my dad? We were in the kitchen and he would be holding a kid, and he was always holding this kid really like not carefully, leaving it on the sofa unattended. And I would be there and be like, oh, what are you doing? And over and over and over again, the same dream and just in different ways.
Wow.
And I'm like, my mother once told me, she goes, Aunt, because that's like you trying to take care of your
Yes.
younger self.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now, having healed that part, maybe we're not acting like fathers. I think we're just being really cautious of how we give love, how we show love.
Well, I know exactly. I just know for me, like I'm exactly the man I know I want to be. Yeah, you know?
Fuck, I love that.
Yeah, like I just know that when people think of me in my life, when it comes to my mother, my friends, they look at me as like their safe space, and that's what a man should be.
Oh, that's so fucking amazing to hear. I say the same thing. I'm such a good friend when it's reciprocated. I'm a good son. I'm a good nephew. I'm a really good boyfriend. And when it's with the right person, it will work because you've mended this ideology you've had of dad, and it kept showing up.
And I think healing and mending, I think like it's ever evolving, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we've broken cycles, which is amazing. And
I think it's so important.
That takes like trauma executing at its finest. Like you really have to sit down with yourself and pick apart certain aspects of your life and really fix them. But the healing of it all and the evolving of it all, I mean, I'm 38 and it's still happening. And thank God, you know, I don't want to stop evolving and healing from anything that's happened to me in life until I'm 6 feet under. Yeah.
Now, for future,
I
have 2 questions I want to ask you.
Okay.
Do you have a message for future dads that are in 2026, that are young fathers, late 20s, that they're having their first child? Any future for these dads in particular, of how to be with their kids, how to speak?
Yeah, I do honestly, and I want to like point it to like if you have a gay son, and I just think that if you're not ready to love your child unconditionally, you are not ready for kids.
There you go.
Okay, I always say one thing. You know, a lot of people hold off having kids like for financial reasons. I think you should hold off having kids if you're not emotionally available.
Thank you.
Because
so good.
Yeah, I think financial things come in time. I think, you know, but I think if you are not ready, and I say that, and I don't want to correlate the two because I don't want to get it confused, but God forbid your kid were to start having mental disorders.
Yeah, of course.
Anything of that sort. I don't know if they were to develop autism, Parkinson's, whatever the case is. If you are not ready to take care of this kid at your full emotional capacity, you should not be having kids. kids.
Agreed.
And to the message to the dads of 2026, thank God I feel like evolution has been kinder to men.
Yeah.
I look at the present company I have and their husbands,
Great.
and I look at them like, you're doing so much for your kid that you don't even realize. You're so present.
I love that.
You're so there.
I'm happy this exists.
I just think in time it becomes easier, but I just think especially for gay sons, please just nurture your kid, love your kid,
Yeah.
respect your kid. That's a big thing too. I think with gay sons, the respect from the father to the son goes out the window for some reason.
I know.
Respect your kid because you know what? At the end of the day, they're respecting you.
Yeah.
You know?
They're doing anything
They're looking
for
at
your
you.
love.
That's it. Like all they want is this father. And if you can't provide that, I don't think you should be having kids. I'm sorry.
I'm pretty good at writing an episode.
Yeah, no, my God. Well,
how do you feel after this?
I need to go to Spa Finlandese after this. Oh God, I feel fucking drained. No, but what's your message? What's your message? Are you tearing up?
No,
Oh,
no,
my
no.
God. Get some Visine.
I watched the movie Supernova. Have you watched that?
I've never.
Stanley Tucci, Colin Firth, gay couple. One of them has dementia.
Okay.
Do not watch it. That's the last time I cried.
Okay. Well, what's your message?
Oh,
to-
sorry.
I don't know. You want to keep on track or? My God.
My message to gay fathers of today. How you doing?
Gay fathers of today.
My message to fathers of
I
today.
don't know why that really made me laugh.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I will always.
You want to go down to your belly button?
It's just, it's nice.
Yeah, it's a little shimmy. You want to get on? Give the people some hope.
I know.
Yeah.
My message to fathers of today,
Yes.
raising children in 2026, or even that have young kids right now,
Mm-hmm.
please realize the impact you can have on someone so young,
Yes.
and that can carry on with them later on in life.
Yes.
So be kind, be open. What you don't understand doesn't mean you need to understand right away. Allow yourself to learn from your kids. That's what they're there for.
You said that so well because I'm saying the whole. Okay, no, sorry, thought the camera froze. I hate this camera.
I know. I
wanna
really hate
throw
it.
it in the
I hate this
garbage.
camera. I hate this laptop. These lights gotta go.
Yeah. But you said it so well. You must be hyper aware of the impact. Again, we're not looking for perfection. We're not looking to have superhuman parents, but you have to be hyper aware of the impact you are going to be having on your kids.
Yeah.
So if you are not a fully formed adult and your frontal lobe is not there, I don't really think kids should be in your future. I truly, a lot of, you take a driving test to get a car. You take this, I don't know. I think some people should go through some evaluation before having kids. It's not about, I don't know. It's not about just because you want to upkeep a tradition. These are human beings that you're forming. So you have to be very cautious of that.
I actually have some message for some fathers that I know today, and I'm not on speaking terms with them. And I hope they hear this. And when I was present in their life and they have said certain comments about oh, as long as my daughter's not a lesbian, as long as my kid's not that, I
They
hope
would say that around you.
around me. I hope
I shut that shit right down.
I didn't have the balls to say this back then. I hope your child becomes exactly who they want to be.
Yeah.
And I hope they love themselves so much first before loving you, because it could be so easy. It could be so simple. You just have to accept somebody for having human life.
Oh my God.
And what you don't understand or don't know or can't relate, it's not up to you.
That's it. It's not, because guess what? They're not understanding everything of you, but they're accepting it.
I can't
You get what I'm trying to
understand your choices on what you eat or how you dress. I
That's-
really can't.
Yeah, no, but even the way you've moved in life, the way you grew up, whatever, I feel as kids, we're so understanding of that. Give that back to your kids as well. I agree with that. I just think it's, I don't know. That is one issue for me that I get a little, I get emotional on, because I just hope that if you're gonna have kids, I just really hope that you come to love and understand them as much as they want to love and understand you.
Period.
Yeah, done, for real. And I know for me, in my future, because I know I want a kid, if that's in God's plan, that I just know that like I'm not going to be perfect, but I'm going to love that kid
Down.
and that's it, really.
Episode 4.
Love your kids.
Love your kids.
Love your kids. Love yourself enough to love your kids.
Love yourself enough to love your
Yeah.
kids. Well,
We're done.
we're done.
I hate this mic.
Okay.
Bye, Sam.
Bye, to.